and welcome to another episode of Conversation with a Chef. I'm Jo Ritty and I love sharing with you the conversations I get to have with talented and passionate chefs. It's the backstory, if you will, to the food they're putting up. I begin today by acknowledging the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, traditional custodians of the unceded land where this conversation takes place, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. I had dinner at the Zhuzh Hotel in South Melbourne the night before this conversation, and I'm still thinking about that prawn toast. The parma came out on the bone, the romesco on the pumpkin was deeply smoky, and the vibe was spot on. Fire crackling, carpet slightly retro, and classic pub food done with care, generosity, and just the right amount of zhuzh. Usually on this podcast I speak to chefs, but hospitality goes far beyond the kitchen. My guest today is someone who's been quietly transforming the pub scene across Victoria. Connolly is a publican, but not the kind who simply owns the building and turns up for the soft launch. He's a former actor and musician who's worked every inch of the floor and now oversees venues like the Healesville Hotel, the Orrong, and most recently, the Zhuzh. We talked about pub culture, people, parmas, carpets, and what it means to be a custodian of these places that mean so much to so many. Thank you for last night. It was such a feast. Oh my goodness, it was so much food.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
It was delicious.
I paused the course as well. He was going to bring out the 12-hour lamb.
Yeah.
I said, oh no, we're getting to. He snuck a few courses in.
Yeah, that's right. I think we had the entrees were quite filling, and then everyone's like, okay. It was so delicious.
Yeah, it's sort of like, I guess chefs are feeders, right? Like,
yeah, I'll just have to be back to taste all the different things. No, that prawn toast, I'll be back for that. Yeah. That is delicious.
That really surprised me, that one.
I already had my favourite in the city, and I think it might have surpassed it. So,
really?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah. Well, I was only on your table for a little bit, but we were discussing that on this table, and I was saying, for me, like, when Steve Svensson first came with the first draft of the menu, there was prawn toast on there. But to me, prawn toast was always that like master food frozen yum cha pack.
Yeah, and it had no flavour.
Well, it just seemed like an oily bit of like crouton or something. Like just to me, that was prawn toast. I was like, what are we doing here? And then it came out like that. I was like, okay, it's delicious. Like,
it's so delicious because it was juicy and it really tastes of prawn, and it's got the right sesame seed ratio. So delicious.
I was really surprised by that one. That's really
So when I started thinking of questions to ask you, because I normally speak to chefs, but for me, I'm all about hospitality, and I really love that I get to speak to people in hospitality and celebrate the hospitality industry, and I feel like you're someone who really has given a lot to the industry. And I was going to say, how did you get into hospo? What drew you in? But then I did just read that you've got a family connection.
But that's kind of not how I got into it. Okay. Like, I started, my first career out of school I was an actor, and then naturally that made me a bartender.
Right.
And then, and then I was in bands for years, and so again, naturally a bartender. And I just fell in love with it, really. Yeah. So the family history is kind of like, I guess, it's not like once removed, but it's like my dad wasn't a publican, so I didn't grow up in pubs in that sense. But we do have a long family history going back that I learned later. Yeah. But my dad will tell you that he was born upstairs at the Three Crowns Hotel in North Melbourne, which I would question. It's probably born in the hospital, but then it was taken back there. But that was his first time. It was the Three Crowns Hotel.
My mother has a way with stories as well. But you just have to go with it.
It's wine, isn't it?
Stories only happen to people that can tell them. That's right. That's right.
Oh, good.
And that's really fascinating that you're an actor and in lots of bands. That really that explains a lot as well, because I think you need to have that kind of outgoing personality to be a publican and to work with the public. So when did you first go from working in bars to owning pubs?
I probably would have done it much earlier, but I got burnt out. I worked for someone for probably 10 years, and like managing venues for him, and by the end of it, it was kind of the bad old days, and I was working crazy hours for no money, and my soup had evaporated. So I jumped out of it, being burnt out in my sort of late 20s, and I went and I worked for my old man. He's got a commercial real estate agency, and they do specialise in hospitality. So I sort of jumped in as the pub guy there for about 5 years, and I was terrible. I did not enjoy it. I was not good at it. But it really gave me like a 360 view of the industry that I wouldn't have got just by coming up through the ranks.
Yeah.
And I think it served me really well in how we operate too. So I guess, what was the question? Was when did I first? Yeah. So I kind of finished that. I was probably 33 or 4 or something like that, and I was up in Sydney. Stop me if this is waffling, but I was up in Sydney opening an office for our company there and having a major existential crisis about what am I going to do next? I don't like my job, blah, blah, blah. As I'm doing Bondi to Bronte every morning and swimming at North Bondi Beach.
Yeah, living life on golden,
Then I'm like, I think, I really loved hospitality. And, I knew I wanted to get into business somehow, and that sort of was a natural fit. So I came back and, I kind of did a couple of things where I had some shares in it, and then I had a pub in Moe, was my first pub.
Moe?
Yeah, and that was over COVID, so that's, they had mixed results.
Right, yeah, okay.
But, I learnt a lot, and it was a great opportunity, and that sort of led to, each thing leads to the next thing, and through that I sort of wound up in the ownership group at the Orrong, and we've just kind of grown from there.
Because I look at your venues like the Orrong Hotel and Healesville, and now here at the George, and it feels like you've got the recipe for success. Do you have a philosophy that you approach when you take on a...
Definitely got a philosophy. I don't know if it's, I think a recipe for success is a dangerous term, but yeah, like our philosophy is like we're pub people.
Yeah.
Like, we love pubs. Like, in particular, like I'm really in love with the history of pubs, and we only consider ourselves the custodians of a venue, because it's been a pub long before I was around, and it'll be a pub long after I'm gone, hopefully, touch wood. So we're kind of, I guess if you bring it back to like the actor and musician stuff, was like that was in a sense just like craving connection, and pubs are the same, and it's like the people you meet in pubs, it's unreal. And that's what I really love about it. It's like you get in there and you think it's going to be one thing, and then it kind of finds its own. It's like a child, it finds its own identity, and then you've got to listen to it, and you've got to listen to the people in your area, and
Because I feel like that Healesville has got such a great, that garden out the back's just amazing.
Oh my God, isn't it? Yeah.
And just in the building with the the quite high ceilings and everything,
Yeah.
it's a real country pub, I think, but just like really excellent food and obviously good beverage offering and all those things. But I feel like you brought a little bit of the country to the city with the Orrong as well. It's got that flavour as well.
Yeah.
And when I walked in here last night, it felt, this is a very... It's not ChatGPT. It feels very over the top, but it felt like coming home, because it's so cozy in here. But you've zhuzhed it, so you've cleaned it up and maybe got it back to some of its original bones. Did you?
Well, yeah, and that's kind of what we do. Is we've learnt not to try and impose our idea or our so like when we're doing a renovation, it's pretty soft touch.
How do you? What governs what you do?
Well, usually by the time we've decided on a venue, we'll look at it, and it's usually got some physical things that we really love about it, and really we just want to restore it to that, you know. And often, and you know, and this pub, you know, was in a sort of mid-renovation, abandoned renovation when we took it on, but it had almost the feel of like a cocktail bar or something. So to us, it was really about like bringing it back to accentuating the woods and softening the colours and bringing some more playful elements to it.
It's quite retro, this carpet, but is it?
Yeah, no, it is. It was. Originally we were going to just get a tartan, but it was going to come from overseas and cost a packet to lay, and then with the budget constraints often create the greatest creativity. So we had to come up with a different thing. So we came up with a pattern and these are all just carpet squares.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, they are too. Wow.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah, they're really fun. But it sort of lifts the energy of it, but it does have that retro vintage feel. It's good.
Yeah, and that's kind of like that's something I think we've done in all of our venues is try to like bring it back to that kind of. It should feel like a pub should just feel like your lounge room, really. Like a public bar, in particular, should just be. You should be able to lob in any night of the week. You know, 2 or 3 people. You're comfortable there. It's not like you don't have to queue up to get in or take
that's
out.
What people are after these days, aren't they?
I think so.
Yeah.
And we might just be lucky for timing, but the cost of living is a real issue at the moment. So we're pretty conscious of that, and for us, it's really important that you should be able to come here and have like a low key meal, and it's not going to break the bank. And what we've found actually is by doing that, we've got people coming back 2 or 3 times a week rather than once a month.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's so cosy as well, and I think that's a decision to have the fire burning all the time, which is so nice. I mean,
this time of year. Yeah.
I mean, lots of people live in apartments or in little places that don't have fireplaces. So for you to be investing in all that, is it red gum?
Some of it.
Is really lovely. So I can see why people would be here 2 or 3 or 4 times a week.
Yeah, it's just like it just should be cozy. Like it should.
That's right.
In this time of year, there's nothing better than sitting in front of an open fire
But it used to be that there was a pub on every corner, and certainly in South Melbourne. And I was saying to you last night that I was here a few months ago in South Melbourne with my partner. We were like, we'll find a pub. Like, there's always a pub in South Melbourne. We couldn't find anything that was open.
What was that? What day was that?
I don't know. Like, sometime it was in the summer. But I feel like maybe we walked down the wrong street. But it felt like every pub we looked at was shuttered, and there was. We thought maybe they're going to build apartments on top of it, or what is it? But we had this very depressing time of like, what's happened to all the pubs? And I think some of the traditional pubs, it has been challenging to stay open, hasn't it? In South Melbourne, but also Port Melbourne seems to be okay. There's a few places still going down Bay Street, but in the local areas, I think it's been hard for people to keep them alive. Yeah,
definitely. Well, I think the industry as a whole has like every other industry, like it's all got a cycle, and an individual pub has a cycle itself, and you've just got to, I guess, where the not new generation, but where my generation of publicans are, we've got to be different to the guys that we came up under. We've got to adapt to the times, and if you don't, that's when a pub really gets to the end of its life cycle.
Yeah.
If you're not adapting and you're not listening to the community around you.
Yeah. How do you get that vibe of the community? Because it's true. So you come into,
there's no.
South Melbourne would be different to.
Yeah, totally.
It's Orrong, Armadale. Yeah.
Totally different. Yeah.
And different again to Healesville. Yeah.
Yeah. And we kind of thought initially we're like, okay, well, in a roundabout way, we'd kind of just pick up what we did at the Orrong and drop it here, and we thought there was a bit of room for that. But 6 weeks we've been open now, and it's like it's totally not what we thought, in a good way. Like it's great. Like they all have their own identity,
Yeah.
and you just you just can't fight against it. And then there's no like cheat to get to know the community. It's just time. It's just be here, meet people, like go up and shake someone's hand and buy them a beer, and like that's it's like that was true probably 100 years ago, but it's true now. It's
Yeah.
Like,
So when you have a third pub in your resume, how do you? Because you're such a people person, are you going around all three? Do you? How does it work?
No, yes and no. Yes, I do, but not in the frequency I used to. So they kind of reach maturity. Both the Orrong and Healesville have incredible management teams that are like doing a fantastic job. So they kind of don't. It's kind of bittersweet because once they reach maturity, they kind of don't need you.
Yeah.
It's like a bit of cats in the cradle or something. It's like maybe I want to come over. Like
Yeah. Is that what urges you to get another one?
Oh, probably. Yeah.
To have that feeling.
Yeah. There's probably some, if I were to psychoanalyze myself, there's probably some moment in the cycle of opening a pub that I'm most alive, that I'm chasing, but I've not done that work. So we'll leave it for later.
And you're the name that, the media will say Publican Scott Connolly has got a new place, but you do have other people in your group.
Yeah, we do.
And they're different people in each pub.
They are.
Yeah. Is that how do you keep everyone happy?
Oh well, that's it. Yeah, I'll tell you when I find out.
Okay.
No. Well, it's different. Like we've kind of got a different structure in this one. So we're kind of like quite selective in who because forever we've got people going, oh, next one, let us in. Like, so we're kind of we kind of had to think about it. And we're like, well, these guys might, they might make good business partners. So basically we went out and we secured these, and then we kind of just sold shares in it to people that and everyone who we offered it to first took it up. So and they're I mean, you met Paul last night. We've got some great partners that are have a lot of value just outside of just being like buying shares in it. Like and they're all pretty excited. They're all first time pub investors, so they're pretty excited. But they're like, it's I don't know. There's a good balance. We're pretty happy with everyone we've invited in. So it's but this is a new model. So who knows? Maybe down the track you invite the wrong person in, and it could be whatever.
Yeah,
but
right.
at the moment, it's great.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of work to keep them happy.
Well, that's good. Yeah. They're happy.
Although I will say we were about 4 or 5 months late getting open, and you could definitely feel it for a minute. The guys were like, "Hey, what's happening here?" Yeah.
I think it's just the way. I think 4 or 5 nights is pretty good going. There's a lot of places out there that are weeks or months past the opening date. They say so. Well,
no, we're 4 or 5 months.
Oh, you're 4 or 5 months. Yeah. Months. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's pretty standard these days, isn't it?
I think so. But like what we really try and do is like we really try and work to a budget rather than because they can blow out so quickly.
Yeah.
It's I was just talking to someone that they're renovating their kitchen and they're saying, oh, it's blown out, it's taken too long. I'm like, we'll try doing a pub. It's like got a very real budget. So. But
you're not. I feel like you haven't passed those costs on to the public because the menu's really reasonable. I don't actually really know how you're doing such good food for that price.
Well, I mean, it's just buying, and it's like, the other part of our job, it's all great to sit around a public bar and shout people beers, and that's a part of the job and that's real. But the the real nuts and bolts of it is you've got to be out there and you've got to be working with your suppliers and you've got to be doing the best deals you can, and we've been able to group a few of our venues together, so that's helped, and and you've just got to be on top of it. Like You know, it's never been harder to make money out of pubs.
Yeah.
But it's still, you know, if you know what you're doing, you can still, you know, it's still really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of people are, you know, complaining about the cost of steaks and all that kind of thing, but yours seem pretty reasonable.
Yeah. Well, I think that. Yeah. So when we were doing our SWOT analysis here, you know, the figure might be wrong, but. I think it was $32 was the cheapest chicken parma in South Melbourne, and we were like, well, mate, we can do better than that. Like, so when we looked at this, we thought, you know, there's institutions like Lamaro's and O'Connell's, and you know, we're not really like here to go up against them. Like we think there's enough space to do what we do, and what we do is like a comfortable space that's not like doesn't require a second mortgage to come in.
Yeah.
And you know, have a meal.
No, but it's good. It's good food.
It's good. Yeah.
It's really.
We're really happy with where the food's at. Yeah.
And so, I mean, I guess there is you have to have a parma and a steak and.
It's the balance.
You know, fish and chips. I guess. Do you have fish? I didn't.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
We've got fish and chips. You got to have a steak. You got to have a parma. You got to have a schnitzel. Yeah, totally. That's all. Yeah, you've got to have that stuff, but you got to do it well.
That's right.
So that's the challenge within that. But then outside of that, you can kind of. We really trust our chefs for a start. So we're sort of back them, and we're like, well, what do you do well? Let's get some of that on there, and we're not trying to just sort of say, well, here's the menu we have at the Orrong, do that. Like it's you know.
Yeah.
It's like I was saying earlier, like each neighbourhood, each pub has their own identity, and you've got to and we'll tweak. We're going to do a spring menu mid-August, so we'll tweak we'll listen, so we'll tweak.
Because Minna, as you're saying, he just really wanted to feed everyone, so he's got that real chef wanting to.
Minna's lovely.
Yeah, so. That's great, and maybe he'll have a bit more of his own input, will he, into the spring menu?
Yeah, definitely. So he's got, so he's Egyptian, so he's got like a real sort of speciality around like Mediterranean, North African, Middle Eastern stuff. So we'll start seeing some of that filter into the next menu. In fact, I think you saw there's the pumpkin and the chicken. Oh yeah, last night.
Yeah, that sauce with the pumpkin.
Yeah, it was great.
Was it romesco, was it?
Yeah, there's the romesco underneath, and there was the maple sort of glaze.
That was delicious.
Yeah, it was really nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And that was a surprise to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's this one?
Yeah. Oh, so there's the next one.
Yeah.
And that was quite filling too.
Yeah.
That was delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
That gives another little added layer, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, Steve, who wrote the menu for us, he sort of had like a Southeast Asian bent to it, hence the prawn toast. And, so we're now Minna's the man. We're sort of leaning into what he does, and the stuff he's presented is like out of this world. So good. Yeah.
And this area out the back's going to be really good when it's sunny. That's a great little courtyard.
Like on a Wednesday, we'll get a lunch rush that's an hour and a half long or something. So there were a few people out there today as well, and out the front. And it's a good, great bones, this pub. So
I love it, and I love that there's another great pub to come to that's close to where I live. Yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, you're this side,
Port
are you?
Melbourne,
I thought you were the other side.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Can you walk here?
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, I mean, 15 years ago, I was managing the Rising Sun here in South Melbourne.
Okay.
And I always thought South Melbourne was just like, it's got such a great pub culture. It was, and even then, I was kind of there at the end of before the ATO crushed the long lunches. So that was a real lunch pub, that one.
Yeah.
So I just fell in love with the culture in South Melbourne. I always thought, we'll get one somewhere. And this was the one I always thought, whenever I'd go up to Chef's Hat on an errand, he'd be like, "Oh, the George, that's the one. If I can get one, that'd be the George."
Oh, okay. Yeah. And, well, congratulations, you've got it. It's yours.
It's funny, they kind of weirdly come around. They come back to you, these pubs. Like the Orrong was the same. I fell in love with that pub the first time I walked into it 20 years before I owned it. And Healesville too, like it's, they're weird. Like they, eventually they pop up somewhere and you're like, oh, yep, go, grab it. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. Do you have any particularly nostalgic memories of a time in one of your pubs? A story or a person that you've met?
Lots of them.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah. Well, okay. So, what? Sorry, be a bit more specific. What do you?
Yeah, I suppose you do. You're meeting interesting people all the time. But has there ever been any particular incidents or happenings that stick out in your mind, or just so many?
Yeah, there's a lot. Look, it's hard to pin them down, but yeah, it's the people you meet. Right. So when I first got serious about pubs, I was about a 25-year-old assistant manager at the All Nations in Richmond, and we reopened that pub, and just the people you got to meet there, like that sat around that bar and populated that place. So like they're still really special to me now. So whenever I run into someone from then at that era, I'm like, wow.
Yeah, so nice.
Yeah. And that's like, I think and it's the same with all of them. Like, coming back to South Melbourne, there's people that I knew from that used to drink over there that if I run into the market or something, it's just always like it's like running into an old, one of your oldest, dearest friends. It's really like it's great. Yeah.
Well, I think you're in the right job, so.
Yeah, I think so. I love what I do. Like I love this industry. I love pubs, and I think they've got a lot of thoughts on it. But I think they're pubs have a very particular place in our culture in Australia, and I think it's our job to be the custodians to bring it through to the next generation as well. And because they're, my great grandmother she had a pub, and my grandfather had a pub. So it's like you just don't want them to. We don't want them to disappear. I think they're important for all of us. Yeah.
Thank you. That's great.
Thank you. No worries. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Conversation with a Chef with Scott Connolly at the George Hotel in South Melbourne. You can check out all the goodness on Instagram at George_STHMelb. That's MELB. As for me, I'm on Instagram at Conversation with a Chef, and if you'd like to read other chats, you can check out the website www.conversationwithachef.com, and you can become a subscriber. And when I work out how to send newsletters, that's the next step. Of course, you can also click follow on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, so I know you're there. I would love it if you told a friend about the chats, because that's still the best way to get the stories out there. Once again, thanks so much for listening. Have a great day and bon appetit.